That's a view to wake up to. All this mess isn't. Time to pack.
Well, we'd had a good night's sleep and a lovely breakfast, and we were feeling surprisingly good considering yesterday's ride. Once packed up, we set off on the A87 to make our way to Fort Augustus. Yet again we were lucky with the weather and were looking forward to another day's cycling. True to form, within minutes of setting off we needed to stop to admire the view.
Here we go. Is this the third day?
Yeah.
Third day. From Morvich to Fort Augustus. Look at this. Loch Duick. I think that's a famous shipwreck, is that? I've seen it on so many pictures.
Today we were joining together two sections of our ride. We'd completed the Affric Kintail Way and now needed to get to Fort Augustus so we could complete the trip by jumping onto the Great Glen Way. The only way to do it was to cycle on the main road from Skye, starting off on the A82 and then the A887 towards Invermoriston. We had around 27 miles of tarmac to cycle, after which we would take an old drover's road over the mountain to Fort Augustus. Well, sometimes in order to get to the good stuff you need to suck it up and get on with the tedious stuff. That's life.
Here we go. Time for a brew.
Pretty soon we reached our first coffee stop at Loch Cloanny. We'd knocked off some good mileage and now wanted to rest our butts and have a nice coffee. As it turned out, the cafe was superb. The coffee was absolutely delicious and the cakes and pastries all freshly baked on site. It was a good excuse to pig out, refuel. Further on we turned off the A82 and onto the A887 towards Invermoriston. The traffic died off and the road became a lot quieter. A few miles down the road we stopped at a trail which was meant to join up with the Drover's Road a bit further up in the forest. However, it was overgrown and unusable.
Well, the Garmin says up here, but we're not too sure. James is going to check it out. Right, we're on the A887 to Invermoriston and we're looking for a turning on the right that will take us up and over the mountain and drop us down into Fort Augustus. It's about in the next mile or two, so can't wait to get off the tarmac and back on the trail.
So we rode a couple of miles further on to the start of the Drover's Road.
At last, give our backsides a bloody rest. And from here, up there, off-road, no more traffic. Come all the way from Morvich on the tarmac road in eco mode to save the battery because it's quite a long day in mileage, but we got here with 4 bars left, which is pretty bloody good, so might as well spoil myself. Legs are a bit tired, so set it in the higher setting now. Just going to enjoy the ride rather than slogging it out. What a day. Typical Scottish weather. Dark one minute, then misty, then drizzle, then glorious sunshine. I've had to put a long sleeve top on and my buff because my blooming arms and my neck are sunburned. What an awesome place. The youngster having his little ride for the afternoon. Come on, son.
We'd been dreading the tarmac section, but in the end actually enjoyed it. However, once we were back on quiet gravel trails again, we enjoyed the peace and the freedom to stop anywhere we wanted to admire the view without having to worry about cars.
Come up from there. We tried to come up that road, but the bottom end of it is just completely overgrown. Anyway, and up there over the mountain.
Trails going off everywhere. It just makes you want to go up them and see what's at the other end, where they lead to.
Have you seen this? Absolutely glorious. There you go.
Feel the sunny days caress our skin when we begin to fall. All the white was fading out.
Towards the top of the mountain we came across a small dam and a hydroelectric station. It was a lovely tranquil place to take a stop. Can somebody tell me what is it about the sound of running water that's so relaxing? Once the climbing was done, I knew from previous rides that Fort Augustus was basically one long beautiful descent. What an absolute buzz. Bombing down a gravel trail with stunning views all around and the wind in your face cooling you down. Even if I was a millionaire, I'd still choose to spend my time doing this. Soon enough we were off the mountain and into the forest. Some trees had been blown over since I'd ridden this trail a few weeks before. No big deal, we just manhandled our bikes over them. Then we hit a stretch of single track and James was happy once again. At the end of the descent we rode onto the flat and out of the forest. What a ride. Once out of the forest we cycled into Fort Augustus. It was a little bit early for checking in and I had a massive craving for an ice cream. James didn't take much convincing either.
Fort Augustus village centre. Time for an ice cream.
If you're visiting Fort Augustus, do yourself a favour and get an ice cream from the little shop next to the bridge. You won't regret it.
That's it, end of the day. Fort Augustus, Morvich Lodge. Bit of a hostel setup, it's quite nice. All sorts going on here. Self-catering kitchen, food, bar, cooked food. What else can you ask for? Awesome.